Cowbell Kingdom's podcast.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Thursday nights at 7 p.m. right here on KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
This is Miriam, and you're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
You know what I got? I got a picture of his face with the little pillow on, with the sleep face, and we're in Chicago.
Are they already in Chicago?
The one and only Leo Biaz. Hey, Leo.
I'm excited to be back, my man. It was 9 days in Vegas. We got stuck in the desert, and we had a little hangover remix out there, man.
I wore a wig to school once, and they said no headgear was allowed.
How did the
spider web
was it
tights.
Obvious that it was a wig?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was having
terrible
fun.
wig.
See, this is exactly why we have them on the show, and this is what makes them fun.
You're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton, 92.1 FM.
Do you want to relive the golden days of Stockton? Join Nate Knott on Stockton Alive every first and third Monday at 6 p.m. Tune into thevoiceofstockton.org.
My name is Josh, and you're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton, 92.1 FM.
This is Darius Oliver, and you're listening to 92.1 KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
With Matt George and Leo Biaz.
Cowbell Kingdom's podcast.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Thursday nights at 7 p.m. right here on KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
My name is Josh, and you're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton, 92.1 FM. Catch us live on Facebook, YouTube, and the TuneIn app.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
Da 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 da, shabba da do da da da, shabba da dee da da da, shabba da dee da do da da da, shabba da dee da da da, shabba da be da do da da da, shabba da be da da da, yeah, shabba da dee da, shabba to buy is good.
The voice of Stockton on KXVS presents Women in Business with your host, Chef Tobias Cooks.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Women in Business with Chef Tobias Cooks, here with the voice of Stockton. Yes, you can check us now on the Voice of Stockton on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and all of our apps and outlets and everything. How was your week, Don? How's it going?
Oh, everything's groovy. We just had this big election, so everyone's still reeling.
Yes.
California's still counting, but we got some good results.
Yes.
Some not so good, but we got stuff to work for.
Well, you know what? The point is that we showed up. We came out to vote. California was one of the highest voters in the country, right?
Sure was.
All right. And enough said, our young people came out. They spoke up and said their voice. Now we're here the very next day talking women in business because guess what? The world still changes.
Yes, it still turns.
All right, you can check me out, Chef Tobias Cooks with the voice of Stockton. Also, you can check me out on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook as well, Chef Tobias Cooks. Yes, so we are here with Women in Business talking with our local businesses. Yes, so on today's show, I'm very excited. This is my very first real estate show. That's surprising.
I feel so privileged.
Very surprising. It is. but we are moving into 2019. And in 2019, as I talked about before, there are lots of trends coming out. Now that we just had our midterm election, there will be a lot of different taxes that are changing. Policies are changing. Some are for good, some are for bad. So we need to find out what is the best thing for you and your business moving forward for 2019. All right, so before I introduce my guest, I just want to say that Stockton, California has some of the best real estate here. When I checked the stats on it yesterday, Stockton is still leading in the Central Valley as far as homes are being built here all around our cities, Manteca, Lodi, Elk Grove, even Modesto and Tracy. There are still new homes that are being built here. Yes. There are new businesses that are coming in.
Yay!
Came in. We have lots of new warehouses that are here. Companies that are coming in by the Port of Stockton. We have a lot of truckers that are in and out on our Highway 5, our 99. So with that being said, our colleges, our universities are growing. Our Delta College is growing with new programs that are coming in. They have the new Scholars Program that just came in with $20 million. UOP have some fantastic programs. My daughter, who's a sophomore in high school, starting next summer, she will be attending UOP programs part-time to get some of her college credits. Also, we have companies like Amazon, Tesla, all kinds of warehouse jobs that are now coming into Stockton. So with that said, also with Sacramento, Elk Grove being an overspill of the new silicon, there are a lot of new silicon startup businesses that are finding their home here in Stockton and the Sacramento area. So being said that, our real estate is booming like never before. It is really growing. People are buying homes. People are selling homes. And so that's why I wanted to do this real estate show. So I asked a very special guest to come on so we could get into this conversation. So women in business for 2019, we know how to take it to the next level. All right, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Marthella McWilson. I am a realtor here in Stockton, California, and I started out in loans in January of '97. So, yep. 21 plus years in the business and helping people with everything from real estate purchasing, sales, credit repair, loans. And back in the day when things were a little bit worse, we had short sales, loan modifications, did BPOs for banks and things like that. So we're talking about trends. We have to move with the tide, right?
Yes.
And we got to get ahead of it so that you can reap the benefits of it.
Yes. All right. So some of the things we're going to be talking about today, the theme when people mention real estate, I want to buy a home, I want to sell a home, or I want to become an investor, the very first thing they have to do is credit.
Correct.
All right. So can you talk to, especially women, a lot of women, some women are married, single. We tend to not show our face and voice in real estate, especially on the buying power part of it. Now we have women that are managers, CEOs, entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
Now they're moving in positions where real estate is the next step for them. So as far as credit, I did a show on women and I did a show on business credit, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about personal credit and how that can help you in your business of moving to the next level of real estate. So are there some tips that you could give women in business on helping them build their personal credit so in their entrepreneurship they can move to the next level?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I got my pen and my paper.
We do have all walks of life on the line here. So let's start with the basics. So let's first start with running your credit. So a lot of people are scared when they come into the when they come into the office, they have a fear that's associated with running the credit because, you know what you've done in the last few years with your credit. But sometimes it's shocking. They don't think it's bad, but some time has elapsed and their credit is better than they think. So the first step is don't be afraid and run your credit. Okay, number one, not often, but run it so you can see where you stand. Because if you don't know where you're at right now, you won't know how to get to where you're going. And so the first step I do is run your credit.
Okay.
So let's see where it's at, what needs to be done. Because sometimes there's some light tweaks that you can do with your credit that doesn't cost you anything but a little bit of time on the credit. So everybody has different things, different timelines on their credit of things that have happened. And so we can sit down and talk about it. But as a basic across the board, what you want to do is utilize your credit at 30%. What does that mean? So that means if you received a $1,000 Visa credit card,
yes,
you don't want your balance to be over $300.
Okay.
You want to keep it right there because that's the sweet spot. So a lot of people tend to say, I'm going to fix my own credit. I'm going to fix it.
Yes.
And what we do is we pay off all the collections. We end up paying down all the live credit that we have right now, existing credit. But that doesn't really give you the scores needed.
Yes.
Because credit it works like this. They want to see you use the credit but not abuse the credit.
Yes.
So if you have a 1,000 credit line, keep it at 300. That's 30% utilization. And if you take a look at your credit report and the graphs that they have on it, you will see that you might be at 50, 60, 70, usually close to 100% of utilization of what they've given you. So they want to see that you use the credit but not abuse it.
Yes, and I think that's very important, especially for women, for us to understand that dynamic, understand our credit cards. A lot of women, the negativity or stereotypes that's associated with us is that we get the credit cards and we go shopping and we buy the shoes and the purses and the hair. But actually being an entrepreneur and a lot of women that have actually graduated from college or women that are in manager levels, those women are very successful with managing money.
Absolutely.
And managing households and managing, their businesses and things of that nature. I just think that now it's time for us to move it towards our personal finances.
Absolutely.
If we can manage our businesses, now we can manage our personal finances as well.
I mean, being a housewife even it's a job.
Is not gonna get us today. Go ahead.
Being a housewife does not mean that you don't have skills. We all know that if you ran a household and you're running a household, there are some key things that you have to get together, right? So you're managing your husband's money that comes in, which is your both of your monies, but he's the one out there making the money. He brings home and you fry it up in a pan. They had a song about that. But you have to know how to delegate money when a PG&E bill is due, how to manage that if you don't have enough to pay it all, right? So we manage and we've been managing and we have that part down, right?
Yes.
So why not switch it up and manage both? So you have your household management and then you have your own personal management. Because let's face it, we all love, right? And we all get married in hopes and dreams of this happening. But the crucial part of that is the divorce rate is real.
Yes.
So we cannot act like that's not a possibility. But if you don't get divorced, you're going to make a better, stronger partner to your husband.
Yes.
So you have to be able to get your personal situation together. And a lot of women I notice, they let their husband take the lead as far as everything's in their name and things like that. Or it's the complete opposite, but then they don't have the finances to cover the things because their credit's better. So you have to both be on a situation to where you both are strong financially, credit-wise, and mindset. You have to make sure your mindsets are both on the same page. But you have to get that credit together.
Yes.
You have to get that credit together because it affects more than just, I want to buy a house. It affects you also when you want to go get a car.
Yes.
When you want to get a job, they run your credit.
Yes,
when
they
you want to
do.
get insurance.
Absolutely. Yes.
Everything's based on credit, but that's the number one thing that people are afraid of. So what happens? It goes to the wayside, and you finally run it, and you see that you're way lower than you should be.
It's a myth.
It is.
It's a myth.
It is.
Especially for me, my journey the past almost 3 years now being an entrepreneur, a lot that you just said is what women we think. We think, you know, we get married or we do this and it's their responsibility. But actually, when you go into entrepreneurship, that kind of changes that whole stereotype and it changes that whole myth. And that's why I wanted to do this show on the way, the platform that we're doing it now, is because those myths is what holds us back. Those fears is what hold us back. And being a woman in business, having your personal credit and having your business credit will give you the resources to move forward.
Leverage.
Yes.
Leverage.
Yes.
And so if you have the options, options are great to have, right?
Yes.
So if you only have one
the
option.
right options.
Yeah. You got to make the right
the
decision.
right options.
Right. So, I mean, if your only option is to depend on someone else, meaning your husband or your mama or whoever you're depending on, then what happens when they pull the rug and say, hey, I don't want to do that no more?
Yes.
Or you have to ask permission for certain things to get done and accomplished, right? And so I'm not saying don't ask your husband.
No, we're not saying
and talk
that.
about things of finances. It's important you guys talk about it and be on the same page. But as a woman entrepreneur, and things come up, right?
Yes,
Bills
they do.
wise come up. Things with your business comes up when
Yes.
you have to delegate some money that way. Or if you don't have money, what you have to have is credit.
Yes.
And so, and just use it wisely, right?
Yes.
And so it's, don't be afraid of having credit cards. Just make sure you do right by them.
Yes. Just educate yourself and learn how to utilize them. So for me, you know, everyone knows I'm married. My husband and I have been together going on 24 years. It'll be 24 years. So everything that you just said, I've been through, known through, and that's why women in businesses, I'm so passionate about it. And another thing that women, we do not realize with credit is now we're moving into Generation Z. We're moving into AI. We're moving into artificial intelligence, where pretty much everything that we do is going to be scanned or done on a chip.
Absolutely.
And to go back to what you were saying, that jobs run your credit. They run your credit. They run your credit and they run your background check.
Yeah, they do both. And then your fingerprints and all that other stuff. So, and they're doing that not just to be nosy, but your credit tells a story, right?
Yes.
And so, like, when people comes for counseling with me to see about getting a loan, they need a loan or whatever, the first thing we do is run the credit. And it's not for me to say, ooh, you messed up. It's really for me to say, okay, because basically your credit tells me what happened in the past, tells me what your history was. It has nothing to do with your future, because God willing, you breathe in the next day, you have a chance to make a difference, right? So what you can do is change your behavior, change your mindset about
That's a good
money.
one. Change your behavior.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes, you have to. Because, there's some women that love to shop. I'm not one of them, right? I'm one of those people, I like that. I'm going to buy
like to
3
food
or 4.
shop.
I know you do. Go buy 3 or 4 of the same, different colors of the same thing if I like it, right? So I don't like shopping like that. That's not my advice.
Yes.
But yeah, a lot of women do like to shop, right? And so with that being said, okay, well, put yourself on a budget.
Yes.
The word budget is okay. Make one for yourself.
In my experience, I don't think it's so much of shopping. It's just that's a part of what we do. We grocery shop. We have to shop for the kids.
Right.
We have to shop for the house. We have to shop, for outside of the house.
Right. For everything.
Go
get your husband's socks.
Exactly.
Right.
This is part of what we do.
Right.
So now that we already established that, now it's just taking information, taking knowledge, taking the fear out of it, taking the stigma out of it, taking the negativity out of it, and just transfer it over to now. Let me learn how can I utilize my credit in the best situations. Key. So one thing for me growing up, I grew up with the myth of no credit is good credit. That's where I come from. So for 20-some years, I didn't open up a credit card.
Right.
Like
Scared
I did
of it.
everything.
You scared of credit.
I
the
did.
Boogeyman.
Yes, did everything by cash.
Right.
Because I was always taught no credit is a good credit. But now that I'm moving forth and I have a 6-year-old and I see my 13-year-old coding and I see everyone scanning, they're like, oh, scan your mobile phone on this. And now I'm like, I do have to have credit now. I do have to have that story in my profile. All right. So that is so good. So real estate, a lot of women are getting into real estate, but not on selling it. We have more and more entrepreneur women that are buying real estate now.
And it's awesome to see, right?
Yes.
It's awesome to see.
I'm calling you. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I want to do this.
You're going to do this. You're going to do it. I don't care.
Yes. I want to do this. I want to do that right there. This is what I want. Yeah. So, but it's exciting to see that more and more women now, entrepreneurs, are talking about buying.
Yes. Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Even,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
I bought my first house that way. By myself, paid that heavy note because back then, rates was much higher. That's why when people complain about rates, don't let rates be the reason why you don't purchase your home, right? Because true story, I had a 750 or something FICO when I bought my house, and rates back then 6 point something. Okay, so the fact that we're in the fives, early fives, right now 5.125, people are getting 4.875. Since we're at that in that rate right now, don't complain about it. Just know that it's a temporary situation. Your whatever rate you get when you buy your home, you're not stuck there, right?
Yes.
As long as you're living and breathing and you're young enough, you're gonna still be working. You need that write-off.
Yes.
Right. So
that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother.
Yeah.
I have to come back for that one. But you have to put things in place because, like I always say, if you're in the United States of America, you're gonna need one or preferably all three of these things: kids. A home-based business, if not a business, a storefront somewhere else. And you have to, so business is important because you get special write-offs for being a business. I don't care if your business is 200 square feet of your home, you can write that off.
As long as you can make a phone call.
That part. And you have receipts showing that you're paying, you bought a new computer. Guess what? It's a business expense.
Yes.
So those things are important in the United States of America. You got to have it.
Yes.
So you have to have kids, you have to have a business, and you got to have real estate.
Yes.
So those are the three things that really help you when you do, you know.
And women are starting to have multiple real estate now.
That's awesome.
Yes. So, and I've even run into women now, younger than me, that own like 2 or 3 homes.
You know what? Because they got it, right? So they changed their mindset. So it's very important. Your mind can let you do what you wanted to do, right? If you want to be so successful people, if you hear them talk and speak, it starts up here. You got to believe it in here, but you got to think it. And say, I can do that.
All right.
And just move to it. Because I put people in houses 23, 24, and they say, this is my first. They don't never say, this is it. This is my dream home. This is it.
Exactly, because for my age group, when I first when I got married and we bought our home together, it was like, this is the home we're gonna raise our children in. Over here is where the kids gonna grow up. Over here, this is where, and it became that for us. So when it was time for us to move on, it was like letting go of that dream. Where now I'm meeting young women. I'm meeting women that are 20. My daughter's 25 years old. I mean, come on. And now it's like there's no attachment at all. My daughter's like, oh, well, I'm gonna get a condo here, and then I'm gonna do this, and I'm kind of screaming inside like, but I have to understand that now they're teaching us. They're teaching our generation that this is what you need to do to level up. Now, this real estate credit is a step forward.
Absolutely. No, because you could do so much with real estate, right? So back in the day when things got crazy right before the market crashed, they had people were pulling money out of their houses. I mean, I was doing loans.
Yes.
100,000 out of this house, 50,000 out of this house. The smart people, that's why you have to be smart about your money. The smart people would take that money and go buy something else.
Yes.
Right? That person would take that money, pay off all the debt, and then buy something else with the down payment for the rest of the house, with what was remaining, right? That's what the smart people did. The people that were not so smart went out And not to say that you shouldn't have a piece. It should be a percentage of your income going toward things you enjoy in life to make life great, right? Like, you don't want to just be all about the hustle and you don't get to sit on a beach sometime, right? And have family trips and things like that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you have to be wiser with it, right? So you take some money out. If you're already a homeowner, take some money out. Go purchase something else while the prices are still low. People are saying, you know, we know and we see that the prices are going up, right? And so it's so funny. I had this conversation often lately. People say, oh, it's going down, it's crashing. It's okay, so let me tell you this. Don't wait for it, okay? You got to live in the now. No one has a crystal ball. I could tell you that this is happening right now, and it looks like it's going this way. But the bottom line, no one has a crystal ball. None of us are God. So you just have to get out there and commit. Take a risk. It's taking a small risk. But let me tell you, real estate is a very lightweight risk, right? Because we know history has proven, I mean, it's a long-term. I'm not telling you go out there flipping houses. Now, that's a whole nother
story.
That's
another story.
That's a whole nother story. And you got to have some money or somebody money backing you.
Someone that know how to lay concrete,
that,
wire and
money for it, right? Supplies. I'm not even talking about flipping. That's a whole nother thing. But I'm saying just purchasing something, some form of real estate now. See, because the same people that are coming now is waiting for the next one to go down, time to go down, are the same people I talked to 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, and still haven't made a move. So what I'm saying is, if you can afford the payment, stop worrying about things that don't matter. Interest rate is this, something this. Look, what you can do to make it better for you later in 6 months, work on your credit in those 6 months. But if you can buy now, buy now. Because in 6 months, we could refinance you, get you a better rate, a better payment, and all that stuff, long as you keep everything else steady. Keep your job.
Yes.
Save as much as you can when you get your money every month. And then rates, when they drop, you can take advantage of that because why? Your credit is better than when you went in, right?
Yes.
So, but don't let rates be the reason, because let me tell you, if you keep chasing this market, you'll never outrun it. You'll never outrun it.
That's a good transition. Let's transition over to trends.
Yes.
So I started my platform. I talked about it takes a village to grow your business. You have to have all these different components in order to grow your business. And then now we moved into 2019, moving forth. So now the trends are out for 2019. The forecast is out. We're already over our midterm elections. That's done with. That's dealt with.
It's done.
The new tax laws have came out. That's done with. That's done. Kids are now applying to colleges for next year. People are planning for weddings for next year. They're planning for vacations for next year.
So what are they planning for financial?
That part for 2019.
So that's an important segment, right? So you have to understand this.
I love the way you jumped in on that. Thank you.
Tag team.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. So take an honest look. You ain't got to tell nobody, right? But if you share it, of course, when you share your testimony, your thoughts on something, you can help someone else, right?
Yes.
Your story. So what I'm saying is this. If you stay doing exactly what you're doing right now, right? Then what are the results for you 1 year from today?
Yes.
Right? And so I live life that way. So it's like, okay, there's some things I got to change in my life, right? There's some things that I need to improve on, business-wise, personal, weight, things like that, right? I mean, I love the way I look, but I know, I can lose a few pounds.
We're
right?
not going to go into that. No,
but I'm just saying,
we're women. Let's not do that.
I love me. Don't get it wrong. I love me.
A woman is
but
good.
It's different. We different.
Yes.
So, but there's things that you should every year. Don't wait till New Year's Eve to have these resolutions.
Exactly.
And stuff like that.
Especially
start
with
today.
finances. Yes.
Yeah. Start today because it's nothing like the
So,
present.
what would be your top if you had to narrow it down to your top tips for 2019?
The top tips
for
I would
finances.
say for women in business or just women in general.
Yes.
Okay. So, women and men, for that matter, this is one of the things that I would say. Number one, create a budget. I know it's simple. It's simple. Make a budget. Write down all your bills that you have, every single one of them, even the ones you're not paying, right? Put the list of what is owed on them, right? Put what's supposed to be paid every month on them, and then put what you're paying every month. Do that on an Excel sheet every single month. I tell you, I can go back 5 years and tell you what I paid on PG&E. Because I do this. I'm not telling you anything that I haven't done, anything that I don't do. So that's the number one. Create a budget. Now, on that budget, you should say house, real estate, whatever you want to label that line. And then put a set amount aside for you to purchase your home, get that down payment. Because there's a lot of down payment programs, a lot of, we give an incentive. If you do a deal with me, if we do the loan and the sale, I give you $1,000, right? So that on top of down payment money can create you purchasing a home. And so I have the Marthella Keys program for that reason, right? So everybody's situation is different. You may qualify for something that your neighbor won't, your sister won't, because your family size, your income, where you've lived, puts you into a different situation where you can take advantage of those things. But make the budget, I would say, is number one.
Okay.
Make a business plan. Number two, women, like I said, about the home-based business. I don't care if you want to, I have a program that you can actually create a business from your home. And it's not something that is tedious and takes a lot of time, but it will create a actual write-off for you in your taxes. So you can see me about that later. But something very simple that you can do, and you're helping people and yourself at the same time, right? So I can create that portion for you. And then so you want to do your budget. You want to get your home-based business together, or something that you can write off to help you with that, and make sure you have that bottom line about saving. So what I tell people, create a bank account. Like if you're serious about this thing, I tell people get a bank account. I don't care if it's a savings or a checking. Just get a separate bank account. Label it house. Like you go online, you can see the word house. That will remind you every single time you need to swipe that card, you'll see house. Every time you go online, you'll see house. But you put money in that. Designate. You know what I'm saying? We give 10% if you're, to your charitable organizations, your church or whatever. Put 10% to yourself, and then spend the other 80 on bills and things like that. But make a budget. Make a budget. It's very important. So those are the two first steps I would say, other than the third, which is the main one. Run that credit. Run that credit, because with the running the credit, creating a budget and getting that bank account set up so that you can be successful, putting money in there to save, you're gonna win.
I will say this, not to edify anyone or try to give business or whatever. I would say if you do run your credit with a real estate agent. Run your credit with someone that understands credit. Because time after time we run credit, we'll do the free credit thing, whatever, and we're looking at the computer like, what in the world is this? And then we get all that fear and all that stuff comes in.
You want to back up. But you so right on the break of getting results from your credit, but you want to back up. Oh, I don't want to pay the $80 or whatever. I don't want to pay that. I don't want to do that. But you're right on the break of things starting to turn around for you.
So please
give us some time.
Run your credit with a professional.
Please.
That way you can sit down afterwards with the consultation. They could walk you through one step by step.
One credit line at a time and tell you
what needs to be done. The calculator, the note, the pad, the paper, so that you can get a clear understanding. Even if you don't understand it right then and right there, at least you can have a little bit of the process. At least you can have some information you'll be able to process. Then you can write your questions down. You can write your concerns down. Then you can come back to your second consultation, and then you could be able to make a plan. All right, before we get out of here, 2019, what do you see some of the trends in real estate?
I see us doing well. Like now, Stockton, we were hit hard. We were hit hard, and then so when sales start happening, they're happening, right? And then so you want to keep don't believe the hype, okay? It's still a great time to buy because things are happening. The people that bought 6 months ago have already made money, right? In equity and things like that. So don't get it confused. We are definitely on a rise. And with any market, and so this is a tricky time of year, right? So every year, I've been doing this, 21 years, every time this end of the year time is a time when market shifts a little bit, right?
Yes.
So this is a normal situation. We have a little dip, you know, like that. But the houses that are priced right, sellers, are still selling. I closed 3 last, you know what I'm saying, 3 this past 30 days. So it's like, and 2 closing this week. You know what I mean? So you put the price right, you will sell your home. The right person has to come at the right time. But during October to January is usually when it's a little hit and miss, because you know you have people that celebrate Halloween's doing that. You have parties. You have Thanksgiving and Christmas and things are coming up, so people are traveling and things like that. So so the people that are on the market right now, purchasing, are real serious buyers for you sellers, and vice versa. Yes. So this is a good time to buy. Now this is a great time to buy because you're not having as much competition with other buyers. So this is a great time to buy. And like I said, if you can make that payment, that is the most important thing that you need to know. So things going to change. Life is up and down. Don't wait on it. Don't try to catch the market because you're gonna miss it again.
Yes. So before we get to our last topic, real brief, I just want to say that for 2019, real estate is going to really change hands. A lot of the baby boomers are retired. They are officially retired now. My parent group are retired. A lot of our grandparents have passed on now. Hardly people my age have living grandparents anymore. So now the baby boomers are officially retired. We have children that are coming out of college. A lot of them are buying in college. Yes. We have a lot of people that are doing their master's degree now. They're extending education. They're utilizing the real estate to fund their education. Also, their living situations. All of that. We have the gentrification that's coming in, that's pushing real estate. Also, with the Central Valley, we have access to H Train. We have access to BART. We have access.
We're in the middle of everything. And people knock Stockton, but I'm telling you, and you talk about the port, and about jobs coming. When you hear those key words of big business coming to your city or around your city, you're gonna know growth is gonna happen because people are gonna be able to be employed. Yes, that's a great thing. And as far as builders, now if you take a look, I went to probably in the past 2 weeks, I probably went to 7 subdivisions in this immediate area, like I said. And so with that being said, if builders are building houses, that lets you know there's growth happening. Yes. And so that's a wonderful thing, not just for the builder, not just for the buyers buying those buildings, which I have one that should be closing next week. Hey, brand new subdivision. But it's going to help the people around. So like where they stopped building back in the day, where they're starting to build in those locations. So that's helping the already homeowners reap the benefit of their prices increasing.
But also as well, what I was getting ready to finish is that now that we have a lot of this that's going on, we're starting to see the gentrification from the big cities, from San Francisco, San Jose, that are pushing out this way. Yeah, they're migrating. And so now that they're coming out this way and they're pushing this way and they're pushing the real estate market, now a lot of them are bringing the jobs with them as well. And so they're saying that they don't want to do the commute. So now if you drive down Highway 5, you drive down Highway 99, even Highway 12, you're going to start seeing the warehouses that are building up. You're going to see the ports, Oakland Port, imported, exported from even from Oakland, as far as from LA all the way up to Eureka. Now we're starting to see the shift. So for my theme for 2019 is the myths about women and their credit. The myths about women and not being able to financially control or police their budgets. That is all changing. That's a myth. So that is kind of like the old way of doing things, because I'm telling you, my daughter's 25 years old. She has a completely different view on money. Changed. Even being married.
Even when we were growing up, our parents was like, you know, they were taught, buy a house, right? Yeah. Pay that house off. 30 years, 20 years.
Living it forever.
Pay that house off, and you just sit there and live happily ever after. Just pay your taxes so no one else come and pay it.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. No. And it's really a fallacy, because the problem is, if you look at that generation, right? their counterparts were doing the opposite.
Yes.
So you have to pay attention to successful people and what they are doing.
Yes.
They are not saying, "Oh, let me wait for the rate to get better. Oh,
Yes.
let me wait till the price goes down and seller, I want you to pay. I want to pay $40,000 less." No, they're not doing that. They're purchasing the property, holding it, making those payments, putting renters in, whatever they need to do to keep real estate as long as they can until it makes sense to sell on a higher level. Take that money out and do the same thing, buy multi-units and things like that, so you can see your money grow. Because that's the only way.
And exactly what you just said, is exactly what's going on now with our younger generation, because it's like they get it.
They get it.
It's no longer a secret.
See, I take a 15-minute conversation with a young person that takes me an hour and a half with an older person, because you got to change your mindset on things, because you were brought up this way of thinking, and just everything that we learned as kids was not the truth, right? It was the truth to our parents or whoever taught us at that moment. But when you learn more, you do better, right? When you just know better, you do better. So that's what you just got to do.
All right. So seminars coming up.
We have a seminar coming up, and to piggyback on you were saying about our parents dying. Yes, our parents dying and things like that. That's why probates are important. I need you to get wills and trusts. Why we just wanted to hit on that real quick. But I do have a workshop coming up, and we want you to come to Catalyst. It's going to be on Thursday, the 15th at 7 p.m. So I hope to see you there. And with that, you're going to learn about tax breaks. You're going to learn about real estate. You're going to learn about credit. You're going to learn about residual income and things of that matter. And it's going to be an open forum where you can ask questions.
All right.
As well.
And give us your information one more time.
Marthella McWilson. My phone number is 209-430-7330. You can also check out my website at www.realestatewithmarthella.com.
All right.
Or by Marthella, I'm sorry.
All right. And Marthella, she's going to go ahead and put her information in the comments on this conversation as well. You can view this conversation live at The Voice of Stockton. Please visit thevoiceofstockton.com. Like, share, donate. Please like, share, donate. Public radio station, please support us. Support all our local businesses in Stockton, California. I'm Chef Tobias Cooks. You can catch me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Women in Business. I'm here every Wednesday talking about women in business. Also, I have an exciting podcast that will be coming out right after this. I will be talking about Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Be careful.
You can catch me here. You can catch me here Wednesday morning and Women in Business. Also, you can catch me on Thursdays with Kitchen Conversation. Chef Tobias Cooks here with The Voice of Stockton. Thank you so much for joining us. Please share. Important conversation. Women dealing with business credit and now dealing with their personal credit. Thank you very much for joining us. I will see you next week.
Thank you for having me.